All right, so today we're going to be talking about van life in the US, specifically in the US, because I know a lot of yous are worried because of some of the videos that are being put out recently saying that, van life has basically become illegal. And, honestly, shame on the people that are putting out those videos because I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, a lot of those videos are just clickbait and they don't really understand how things work in general, because the laws that were passed specifically in the US have to do with homelessness. Now, obviously, if you're living in a beat up old van and you actually are homeless and you don't have an address, I mean, like not even a parent's address or a family member's address that you can use, then yeah, you might be in trouble. And also, if you're parking in spaces that you shouldn't be parking in, like, city property, some spots that might have been okay in the past maybe are not okay anymore. You can see that on apps like Park 4 Night and iOverlander. Like, you might see people commenting, oh, I came here recently and now I got kicked out. That is happening for sure. But what isn't happening is that it's not the lifestyle itself that's being outlawed. It's just that people who aren't doing it properly in the first place are starting to get called out. And that's rustling a lot of feathers because nobody's getting a free pass anymore. And the truth is, this lifestyle was never about getting a free pass. If you're planning to just park your van somewhere and stay there indefinitely, I mean, that's not what this lifestyle is all about. It's about, nomadism, like moving around, exploring, seeing the world for what it is. And I understand if you're working in a city, okay, and you need to be around a specific city, for work and stuff, and it makes sense why you might want to stay in the same spot. But in the States, actually, because I'm from Canada and I'm actually visiting the US now, I'm in Florida. Okay, I'm snowbirding because it's the winter in Canada and I wanted to enjoy the winter to its fullest capacity. Well, I'm actually having a lot of easier time doing van life in the US than Canada, believe it or not. And that's partly because of the state parks in Florida. If you just get a pass, it's like $60 a year. You got somewhere to spend the day like every day. So already that's out of the way. And there's restrooms, there's everything you could absolutely need. I have a membership to Anytime Fitness. So I have a place to shower, to charge my battery if I have to work out, to get some work done even if it's really hot outside and I need some AC, which hasn't been the case because the reason I'm here is to be outside and enjoy the weather. So there's that. And then there's the truck stops, the rest stops, not the state rest stops, because those have, I'm going to make another video about that actually. Like, there's like specific time limits that you're allowed to rest depending on the state. So that's something that's come up quite often as well. But we're not using those rest stops. We're using rest stops like Love's, TA Travel Center, Pilot Flying J. Like, those are places you can gas up. And as long as you gas up, you spend a little bit of money there, you can park there and stay the night. But once again, these places are not places to set up a permanent encampment. It's just so you spend the night and then you're on your merry way to the next destination. So basically, instead of paying rent when you're doing van life, you're paying for gas, okay, or diesel. And that's the way it should be. And you're gonna save a lot of money that way too, but you can't go about it thinking you're gonna be spending like no money at all. Like, that's just like delusional. Like, you need to do your part. Like, you live in a country, you live in a civilization, you need to contribute to it somehow, right? So that's what the US is against. And personally, I 100% agree with these measures. So there is a way to do it where it's respectful, it's responsible, and it's disciplined. So the way that I personally been doing it, like I said, is I just sleep at rest stops at night. I pick a new one every night because I'm traveling, like I want to see Florida and stuff. And during the day, I just go to the state parks. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And if you have to pay, then just pay, like you should have a way of making some sort of income. And if you're retired, you probably got a pension. There's so many ways to do it. And you can even, if you want to stay put in one spot, which a lot of retired people usually do, is you just pay an RV park for like a year, which I think you can probably get. I forget what the app is, but anyways, I checked the prices recently, and for a year you can get, like, for $5,000 you can get a place to park your RV or camper van with electrical hookups. And you're pretty much set if you want to stay put in one spot. And you could even find some that are near cities. So there's like no problem at all. Obviously, if you're going to be near cities like Miami or, Houston or whatever major cities there are in the States, obviously you're going to be paying a little bit more. But if you're working, then it's worth it, right? And it's most certainly going to be less than rent. And if you're a remote worker, you can probably put it on your expenses, your business expenses. So there's really nothing to complain about, guys. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, kind of dispelling this myth that, you know, van life is illegal. And Canada's another story too. Canada's actually kind of the same. I'd say it's a little bit less equipped because there aren't as many truck stops. Well, private ones anyway. There's like on the 401, there's a lot of like state ones, which I had no problem sleeping at night at because there's no laws banning it, right? If you're just resting for the night and then you move on. But that's pretty much all there is to it. So if you're one of those van lifers that are giving us a bad rep, then by all means, stop. And if you're one of the van lifers that wants to do things properly, respectfully, and with discipline, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
All right, guys, that's it for this one. If you're building something that's meant to last, whether it's a camper van, a business, or just a better way of living, I'm glad you're here. Everything I use, recommend, or offer is linked in the description. Take what works, build your own blueprint, and I'll see you in the next one.